right, welcome back to the Glory Haus College Football Primer, Week 2. I'm Joel Vien. This is...
Myers Powell.
Myers Powell this time. We're going Myers Powell.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, first things first, we want to talk about last week and the unbelievable game that we watched. Talk about a little bit, Myers Powell.
Well, if you tuned in for the last episode, you saw that I did choose the FSU Seminoles to win that game, and I was wrong.
So wrong.
I gotta give it to him this time. He's been rubbing it in all week, as you can assume. Crazy game, though. Really impressed with Georgia Tech's way to completely shut down FSU in that second half. Well, I, for one, was very impressed with the game Georgia Tech played, especially squaring off with an opponent like FSU, previously holding an undefeated season and having a lot to prove this season. Georgia Tech had a great start to their season. We also said that they had a ton to prove. The game was tied at halftime, 14-14, and it was kind of a low-scoring game. Only one score in that second half. One score by each team until Georgia Tech came back with that field goal.
Kicked that final field goal. Yeah, Georgia Tech really dominated both sides of the ball, took control of the offensive and defensive line. It was an exciting game, even though, we say low scoring, 24-21 isn't really low scoring, but it felt like it was a grudge match.
Especially
overall.
in today's game.
Absolutely, the way that the teams score now. Georgia Tech was just really, really impressive on a lot of fronts. So I was happy. It's a good start, and an excellent start to the college football season. But more importantly, the uniforms.
Absolutely. First thing I noticed once they ran right out of that tunnel, the white helmets, oh my gosh, with that gold plate on there.
The gold Celtic knots.
Gold
down
Celtic
the center.
knots.
Was
that
gorgeous.
Intended for Ireland?
Yeah, for Ireland, yes, specifically. Yeah.
I didn't get that, but I was definitely for it.
Georgia Tech's uniforms were amazing. Florida State's uniforms are always impressive to me. I love their color scheme. But, yeah, those helmets were...
Beautiful.
A+. All right, let's get to our game this week. And if you can't tell, you're blind.
Somehow.
Let's get to our game of the week. It's going to be the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs versus the number 14 Clemson Tigers. Go ahead.
Well, being a Texas fan and a South Carolina fan, this game is...
Can they both lose? Is there a way
please,
that they can
please.
both lose? Please, somehow.
Wish there was some way for them to both lose, but we all know that's not going to happen. Personally, I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I don't think the defense is going to be very much of a factor. They're definitely going to be in play, but the offense on both sides is going to be the dominating force by far. But I'm excited to see this aerial attack by both teams.
For me, it can come down to a couple different things. Georgia absolutely is going to try and kill any team that they see in front of them, being left out of the college playoff last year. And as much as it pains me to say this, I think it was wrong that Georgia was left out of the college playoff last year. They're going to be out for blood. There is no doubt about it. They have a lot of returning starters. They really want to prove that they should have been in the playoff last year and should have been the national champion. The one thing that could impact Georgia in a massive way is injuries. They're already going into this game, tenuous situation with a lot of players, some players even being left out due to other issues. That could play a really pivotal role in this game, especially, and I say this, I'm not hoping anything, if Carson Beck gets hurt in any way. They're already missing their number 1 running back. They're missing some key players. It could get hairy for Georgia if Clemson can really put it together. Clemson, there's questions. There's been continuity issues, quarterback issues, which to me is the most important thing on the field regardless. Do we want to get to our predictions?
Well, we might as well.
We might as well.
Being on the topic.
Might as well. Who is your pick for this game?
Well,
Myers.
As much as it pains me to say it, which it does either way.
Yeah, really.
But honestly, there's one way that it pains me a little more. But my pick, Georgia Bulldogs. They're going to not dominate this game, but I think come out with the win.
Yeah, I don't even like touching this thing. This is the smallest way that I could choose Georgia. But I think in the end, Georgia is going to blow Clemson out. I just think this is not really...
Do you really think it's going to be a blowout game?
I don't think it's going to be much of a contest in the end. They're going to wipe the floor with Clemson.
I disagree, respectfully.
It's fine. You can have disagreements at any time. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's okay to be wrong. Another little caveat that we wanted to add into our program is our Heisman picks. Go ahead.
Well, being a Texas fan and completely not biased, I think Sir Quinn Ewers, hook 'em horns, that's exactly right. Yeah. Quinn Ewers, the highest paid prospect of all time.
That's such a weird sentence to say, highest paid prospect of all time. But go ahead.
I think, obviously, Quinn Ewers is going to have a great season and dominate. By the end of this year, he's going to reign victorious over Carson Beck and Jalen Milroe. Those are my picks.
So I understand what you're saying, but if we're going off of play, and there's only been one game played, I don't think we're going to go with, what did you call him earlier? Who was the player from FSU that you said?
Oh, ukulele.
Ukulele. Wasn't ukulele. If we're going with games played, Haynes King has to be your Heisman front runner at this point.
Agreed.
There's just no
100%.
doubt. I really don't think that's going to happen by the end of the year. But at this point, he's the Heisman front runner. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, I agree with that. We know one thing. You can play ukulele. Ukulele cannot play.
It's so good.
Such an awesome last name. It's perfect for this.
Okay, so the other reason that we're here is all of this glorious merchandise that you see behind us. Every single one of these pieces, other than the mini football helmets, that is just something we added in ourselves. Other than that, every single piece that you see up here, you can purchase online or at one of our warehouse sales at Glory Haus. We have burleys that hang up on your front door, or really anywhere you want to hang them all year round. We have pillows. We have coffee mugs. We have spirit blocks. We have table toppers. Those are amazing because you have the base, and then you can get different toppers for different things. Specifically, though, we have the college one. All right, so these are two of our newest products. In my hands, unfortunately, I am holding an acrylic bulldog topper. Really cool, even though it is a bulldog.
Well, I am holding the Icon Edition Clemson tumbler. Very nice cup. Fits in your hand perfectly, fits in any cup holder, which I've noticed. Keeps drinks hot, keeps drinks cold, whatever you need, it's got it. Even though it's got that big old paw print and Clemson and big old writing.
Alright, so again, you can find any of these products online or at our warehouse sales. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.